Hello everyone. So today we will be starting with our third chapter of civics, which is named as What is Government? So let us start with the same question. What is government? So government is a system or a group of people with the authority to govern a country or a state. It is an organization which is going to govern. Govern means rule, have a control over a country or a state. That is called as government. Now, let us take an example to understand it. When we talk about our school, let us imagine the school as a country or as a state. So in school, what happens when there is a teacher in the class and when there is principal in the school? All the students are very much disciplined and they follow all the rules and regulations and orders which are given by their respective teachers and principal of the school, right? So this is what happens in the country. When there is government in the country or in the state, the people of the country have to follow the rules and regulations which are given by the government. Okay, but if there is no teacher and no principal in the school, now what is going to happen? There will be whole chaos, right? So everyone will be free. There won't be any kind of rules, regulations. People or the student of the class would be able to do anything whatever they want, right? And which is going to break a lot of rules and which is not going to uh, let anybody leave properly. Okay, because when there is no teacher, there are chances of some accident taking place, students fighting, a lot of fights amongst friends, right? So these things happens when there is no teacher or no principal in the school, nobody is there to take control over, right? But same thing happens when we talk about government, right? The country or the state. When there is no government, which means no rules and regulations, and which means the same condition which you can see over here of the people of the country or the state. There will be whole chaos going around. Nobody is going to control, no rules and regulation, no punishments. Everybody can move anywhere, any way they want. No regulations on traffic, no regulations on any kind of crime. So because of these things, it won't be a country or a state, a place won't be a good place to live on, right? So that is the reason why we require government, right? So in the school, principal and the teachers are the governing body of the school, right? They are the one who have control over the school. In the same way, government of the country is the governing body of the country, which is having control over the country or the particular state, right? So this was, I hope you are able to understand what I have told, taking an example of school, that this is how a government works or this is what the government does, right? Now, why do we need government? Why there is so much importance, or why there is so much need of government? This is for this why we need to remember two terms. One is DM, that is decision making. The power of decision making is given to the government. Okay, government has the power of decision making, and these decisions which are made are obviously for the people of the country or the state. They are in the benefit of the people of the country or the state of which the government is. And the other is GTD, that is getting things done. So get means when there are decisions which are made, those decisions have to be implemented. Only making it is not enough, right? So for GTD also we require government. That is, after making that decision is needed to be implemented, and that implementation, how that implementation has to be done, is also done by the government of the country. So these are the two important factors because of which we require government. Now, let us take an example to understand it more properly. Let us take a very recent example of India getting locked down due to Wuhan coronavirus. Now, who did decided who did decided that India would be locked down? There would be lockdown in India, right? This decision was taken by the government of India, right? So this decision of locking down the country for these many days, and for not permitting any movement across the country, not permitting movement, interstate movement, and all these things were stopped just because of order given by the government. So this is what is quality of decision making is, which is under control of government. Okay, so this was the decision which was made by the government, and it was told to everyone to implement it all over the country, right? Now let's take the next factor, that is GTD, getting things done. Now how this decision is to be implemented, ये decision ले तो लिया, पर अब इसको इम्प्लीमेंट कैसे करना है, ये इम्प्लीमेंट कैसे होगा, तो ये कैसे किया गया, इसमें in this many of the government officials have helped the government to imply this decision, right? There were police, there were different officers who tried and blocked the road and didn't allow any movement. If people like these, they moved or they came out during the lockdown, then they were punished and told and forced to go again back to their homes and not to move out of their houses. And these kind of some very much impressive efforts were taken by the government so that people follow the order which was given, that is locking down the country. So this is how the GTD, that is the getting thing done, is done over here. Okay, so the two things or the two factors because of which there is very much need of government is, first is decision making quality, which is best for the people, and that is taken by the government, and second is getting things done. Okay, so this is by this example we can come to know that how decision is taken by the government and how it is implemented for benefit of the people. Now let us see levels of the government. There are obviously different levels of the government on which the government works. Likewise, in our school also we have different levels, right? There are students first, which we can say that they are the people, common people of the country, so students. Then there are teachers, so we can compare teachers to the ministers of the state government. Okay, and then there is principal and doctor sir, doctor madam of our school, which we can compare to the central government or the top level of the government, right? Which is having control over everything, right? So same way we have levels of the government, in which we mainly have three levels. The first level is local government, which means local government, it includes all those governmental organization which work at local level. Local level means the level of city or town or villages, right? So this level of government is called as local government. Like we have government of Silvassa, so Silvassa government is local government. Okay, government, there is small government system working in Khanvel or working in different smaller villages, that is local government. Then we have state government, which works at the state level. Okay, so now working at state level means including all the cities and town in the state and working for betterment of state, that is example Gujarat government, Maharashtra government. So these are state government. And the third level is central government, which includes towns, city, villages plus state and the whole country. Okay, so that is called as central government. Okay, so these are three levels of government: local government, state government and central government. Now let us see each of them in brief. So first is local government. It is a form of public administration which in majority of contexts exists as the lowest tier of the administration within a given state. Okay, so there is a state like for example Gujarat. In Gujarat there are different cities and many different villages. So the government which work at the city level or at the village level, that government is called as local government, which includes gram panchayat of villages and municipal corporations of cities. Okay, so this is about the local government. Second is state government. Now state government, it works at state level. Okay, so group of people or a system which governs the state. Each state has its own state government. Okay, it's not that one state is having a government, like for example if Maharashtra government is there, it is going to rule Gujarat also. No, so each state has its own government, and state government is second tier of Indian government. Okay, so state level or the state government is second tier of Indian government. We already have seen three level or three tiers, so from which state is second tier, which means any problems of local government which are not solved at that level can be solved by the state government. Also the state government has its own individuality, like for example when we talk about Gujarat, so Gujarat has its own different rule compared to that of Maharashtra. Now Gujarat, a very different rule that Gujarat has is it's dry state, right? Dry state means there is no liquor shop or no liquor permitted in the state. Okay, no commercialization of liquor permitted in Gujarat. Okay, whereas when we talk about Maharashtra, there is no such rule, right? So this is the power of the state government, that it can take any decision individually for the betterment of its own state. So state government includes their own, each state has its own state government. Likewise Gujarat has its own Gujarat government, Maharashtra will have its own, and other different states has their own state government. Okay, now the last one is central government. So it is the government that is controlling power over a unitary state. Okay, so anything, any problem which is not solved by state government, or anything, any decision that has to be taken for the whole country, so that is taken by the central government. That power is is towards the central government. Okay, and the power, like if we compare them in terms of power, so the head of it is central government, then under the central government we have state government, and under the state government we have local government. Okay, so this is about state central government. Now if we talk about the power or decision making, so government is going to make the law, right? And the people of the country have to follow the laws which are made by the government. But now what can happen if people do not follow the law? So if people do not follow the law, the government can enforce their decisions on the people. Okay, if the people do not follow what government says, government has the power to enforce their decision on the people. But on the same time, when we talk about certain decisions which are made by the government, but there are chances that they can be wrong, so at that time, do people have power to take action against those decisions which are not in their favor or which are not in their betterment? So the answer is yes. People also have the power to take action against the things which are not in their for their betterment. Now how do we do this? So we can do this with these kind of mass movement. Okay, where all the people come together, there are different strikes which are done by the people of different issue, which have different issues, right? So what we do is we come up together and we raise up our voice, and that voice has to be heard by the government, and the decision will change if our voice is for the correct, right? So this is how people also have certain powers in our government to change the decision taken by the government if the government decision is wrong. So, this was about how the government works and what role is played by people in the government. Now, the next part, that is types of government, we will learn in our next video. Till then, keep learning and take care of yourself.